this is just a follow-up video of the previous video that I put up of what life was like being in a relationship. And I just want to talk about how life was like when I was single. So, little bit of a contrast of the previous video that I talked about. And so, one of the things that is pretty vastly different is obviously the time spent, the free time that you have when you are single. And I think the free time that I would have when I was doing single is I would be able to just roam around with a lot of flexibility and plan things, mostly to do things for myself, or be able to plan things to hang out with friends or go to events or travel, things that I really enjoy doing. And it would focus on a lot of just me doing what I enjoy doing, and that's a lot of like community service work, going to like sports practices and helping out, and also really just hanging out with friends, having more time to make content like this, putting up videos, being able to watch more shows or movies or read. So doing like the typical hobbies that I really enjoy doing. And so because I'm in a relationship, because a lot of my time is focused on the relationship and focused on just hanging out with my partner and hanging out with my girlfriend. It all caters around like what we do together, going on dates, doing travels. So that leaves less flexibility to do the things that I want to do. And that's okay. That's something going into the relationship I knew was going to happen. It's just, am I willing to make those sacrifices to put more time into the relationship? And, you know, it did, now being in a relationship, it did leave less time for me to do the other things that I really enjoy doing. I'm still able to do most of the things that I've listed just now, but I do realize like I do less of those things now. And there's still things like maybe traveling and going to events that rather than doing it by myself, I could do it with someone else. I could do it with someone I enjoy spending time with. So that aspect is nice. But you do have less of that alone time and that flexibility to kind of maneuver your schedule however you want, because most of the free time, especially on the weekends, is spent towards hanging out with my girlfriend. And so that's one thing for sure that I think is pretty clear difference, as opposed to being single and being in a relationship. I think another thing too is probably a little bit more selfish with my time. I like to do things that I enjoy doing. And although like when I hang out with friends, like of course like I'm pretty flexible and I'm willing to do what the group wants to do. I'm not too stubborn with things, but planning for certain things, I keep it pretty flexible and keep it pretty open to what the group wants to do rather than the things I want to do. But if there's things I plan for myself, then then I'm able to do what I want to do. Like one of the things I really enjoy doing is like traveling, solo traveling to different countries or different parts of Japan. And what's nice is like I have my own itinerary and I can make it however I want. I can maneuver however I want. I don't really have to take into consideration of another person that's with me, that's traveling with me. I could just do whatever I want. So that aspect was always nice, just to be able to maneuver and not taking into account what the other person's thinking, or thinking them as like a nuisance or a hindrance to your travel events, your travel plans. So being able to do that was definitely pretty nice. But it has its pros and cons, right? When it comes to traveling, because at the same time, when you do travel alone, you kind of wish you were able to spend it with other people or a significant other, your partner. So, being in a relationship and having to do like day trips and things like that, it does make it pretty enjoyable to have someone that you enjoy spending time with, um, to do it, to share that experience with someone else. And so, there's the free time, there's the flexibility of like the things that you want to do. Yeah, and that's that's connected to just having like freedom, the freedom to make decisions for your own. You're only really just thinking about yourself, and you don't have to take into account what the other person's thinking, like what the other person wants to do. You can just focus on you and do what you want to do and make decisions for yourself. So, that aspect is also nice too when being single. I think another important thing, that is pretty relevant to what single people go through is when you're single, like you also in a position where you want to look for someone, right? So there's definitely been periods of my life where I was pretty active in the dating scene and looking to meet new people and uh, testing out the pool of like what type of people are out there, if and looking to see if you want to be in a serious relationship with the people that you date. And so, again, you have that flexibility and you could utilize that time to try to look for someone. And obviously, it is nice to have that alone time, but sometimes, like, there is a part of you where you wish you were in a relationship and you want to spend time with someone else, right? So, definitely uh, during that period of singleness, like, I would go out and put myself out there and try to utilize my time to see if I could meet someone that I want to be in a serious relationship with. So, definitely periods of time where I went on a lot of dates and I met new people to see if, there's any interest in someone that, if I wanted to pursue someone specifically. So there's a lot of that going on, especially with online apps. That makes it dating a bit more accessible and a lot easier to make arrangements to meet people. And usually that's just the trend that it is in this modern age of dating and relationships. And, you know, and then now, like, when you're in a relationship, you are with someone most of the time during your free time. And sometimes there's like an aspect of it where you're thinking, like, oh, it's good. I wish I would have some free time and time for myself. And that's always good too to have, when you are in a relationship. But it's just when you look at both ends of the spectrum, when you're single, you're kind of alone and you're looking to find companionship. So you take some time to date around and meet new people and see if there's some potentials out there that you could be in a relationship with. When on the other hand, you are in a relationship, and now that you're in one, most of your time is spent with a specific person that you actually enjoy spending time with. But there's also a part of it where you spend a lot of time with her and with your partner that you think, well, it'll be nice to have some time alone to go back to some of the hobbies I was doing before that I don't really have as much time now being in a relationship. So you look at both sides, and there's always that concept of the grass is greener on the other side. So you look at as a single person looking at relationships, thinking like, oh, I wish I had that. That looks so nice. Being able to share those experiences with someone, being able to have someone that really cares about you, and you could do the same. While you're in a relationship, there may be times where you're thinking, well, it'd be nice to have some free time and I could be able to do this and that because I'm not able to do it because I'm doing this in the relationship or all my time and energy is spent into my partner. And then you're thinking, oh, I wish it'd be nice to have that sometimes, right? And so, you could always be on both sides and look at the other side of the fence and thinking, oh, it's so much nicer to have that, right? But rather for me, like, although sometimes those thoughts come up, like I always just try to be very grateful for where I'm at right now, whether I'm in when I am in this current relationship. I appreciate just having it and just being with someone that really cares about me, that I enjoy spending time with, and it's a relationship where we could both grow with one another and just keep each other accountable, which I think is an amazing thing. Well, in the past when I was single, I really appreciated the freedom, the flexibility to do what I want to do, and I was able to take advantage of that time to just pursue the things that I really enjoy doing, and I wouldn't trade that time for the world. I mean, those experiences really helped shape me to the person I am, and made me really maximize my time to do the things that I really enjoy doing. And now that I'm in my mid 30s, it's like at a point where I feel like I've done everything I wanted to do as a single man. Like I've experienced so many things that I guess a lot of people in this world didn't get a chance to do. And I'm so grateful for that. And I'm so glad that when I was single, I took advantage of that time to pursue things that I wanted to do, to invest in time that I enjoyed doing. And it just made me more grateful and appreciative of the time that I was single. And so, because now I'm at a point where I've done all the things I wanted to do, it just makes me in a position where I feel ready to be in a relationship now. That maybe I could potentially move on to the next stage in the relationship and get married and have a family and settle down. And I feel comfortable with that because while I was single, I did all the things pretty much that I wanted to do. Of course, there's like definitely other things that I still want to do and maybe won't be able to do. But the important things for me that were on my checklist when I was single, like I feel like I checked off most of them. And like I feel content moving forward in the relationship and potentially settling down. So, when you are single, just take advantage of that time to really pursue the things that you want to do. Because, with time, it's not something that you get back. So you want to utilize your time wisely and invest that time to doing that you're really passionate about or things that you just really enjoy, because it just makes life that much more enjoyable. And yeah, when I look back in my times I was single, I feel like for the most part, I made the most of that time and did the things that I really wanted to do. So I hope for you that could be the same for you. Maybe you could reflect in your time of singleness and see like, oh, how do I want to use this time, this season for me being single? What can I do to better myself? What can I do to make this single experience much better, much more productive, and much more enjoyable?